In a world filled with yokai, a dark mystery has overshadowed a Japanese town. We've been cursed to roam this mystifying land, and we must find our way to escape back to reality. We adventure, risk our lives, face many dangers, and help yokai along the way. This journey of ours is based on true historical events. These are the tales of the Black Forest.
It's all your fault. We'll never forgive you.
Hey everyone, I'm G. This is the entire main story of Tales of the Black Forest. I'll show and summarize everything that I think is important to the story. There are depictions of suicide and violence, so if you're sensitive, I would click off. Anyways, thanks for watching. When I was 8 years old, Mom and I were involved in a car accident. Only I survived. Our memories are lost from before our accident. The story starts in 1998. We slowly open our eyes and find ourselves sitting alone outside of a train station. The air is shrouded in a thick, hazy mist. The shadows of the dark forest flicker around us. We are at Shikanaki Station. Shikanaki is a region known as the Land of Abundant Fruit, near Kudamori Town. Kudamori Town was a town our family used to live before the car accident. We search our backpack and find a one-way train ticket home. We remember ourselves taking the train home, so why are we here? We enter the train station and find a fallen loudspeaker, barely functioning, and a large bottomless hole in the floorboards. A white feather is floating above the hole. We reach out and grab the feather. The door locks behind us. We can't leave, and the hole is too big to jump over, so we interact with the loudspeaker, and a broadcast plays. It sounds like the broadcast is some religious cult, chanting some ritual. From the speaker, we hear whispers of our name. The feather in our hand shines brightly. We have magically transported to a different time, where the floor and speaker is intact. We spot a fair-skinned woman with silver hair and beautiful plum blossom eyes awaiting us, sitting quietly under the moonlight. Excuse me. She shakes her head and points to her lips. She reveals a spiritual notebook, and words automatically appear on the cover. I'm cursed and can't talk. She's unable to tell us what this place is and why we're here. Only that we're both here because of a curse. She knows how to remove said curse, but we have to journey with her to the Kudamori-cho Gekijo, the Kudamori Town Theater. There lies a power to remove the curse. Before we set off, she tells us the white feather we obtained is imbued with magical powers. One of them is Nensha. Nensha is a form of time travel, an ability that allows us to see into memories of functional electrical appliances, like the loudspeaker. To read and physically enter its memories, we are able to take ourselves and others to the past. However, Nensha cannot be used to change the course of death. She introduces herself. Her name is Kiritani Yuki. We explore the room and find a notice on the wall. We are 3 years in the past, 1995. We remember a gas attack happening in the subway this year. We unlock a safe and reveal a flyer. We learn that the Shinri Tengoku cult seemed to be behind the subway gas attack. We touch the radio and transport ourselves back to 1998. Yuki transforms herself into a round pigeon, and in this form, she's able to talk to us. We place her in our pocket and carry her outside. We explore the area and notice the buildings of Shikanaki are run down and have been abandoned. The interior is lined with dust and cobwebs. There's been no signs of human occupants for over a year. We read more postings of another poison gas attack taking place in a Kudamori train station. It seems the cult coordinated multiple gas attacks in many public areas, targeting innocents. Police confirmed that the train station master of Shikanaki village, Matsuyama Masao, is a member of the Shinri Tengoku cult. When police arrived at his residence to investigate, he had already hung himself. As we try to leave this section of the village, Ojo-san.
Oh shit! A ghost!
Ojo-san, can you help me?
Hell no!
I've been starving for days, and I'm weak. Can you hold this child for me? Kihara. Kihara! I can't explain, but you need to go. Hurry! Get out of here! Help me.
Help me. Help me hold my child.
Don't delay! Hurry up and run! There are plenty of malignant, evil spirits that would like to hurt us in this world. We continue on. The bridge to Kuromori town is blocked by a giant deer skull belonging to an old god Aiko-sama. We learn that Aiko protected this land and controlled the weather and 4 seasons in the Shikanaki village. But a deity's powers is only as powerful as the humans' faith in them. And as humans started to disbelieve in Aiko-sama and started to believe in a different god, he grew weak and fell asleep. In order to cross the bridge to Kuromori town, we must first help this deer restore a withered tree with a special sun shower rainwater. The water can be obtained during a fox yokai wedding, and we set out to figure out when the last wedding was held.
Oh my, you look familiar to me, Komosumi-chan, and I see from your eyes you are lost.
We find a talking scarecrow. After answering a few riddles of his, he asks us to give him a ripe watermelon. We move the ripe watermelon and unearth human bones beneath. The scarecrow tells us the bones belong to the Shikanaki train master, and he reveals that he did not hang himself. Rather, in 1995, a mob of several Shikanaki villagers stormed into his home in anger, shouting, "You bastard! Why did you betray us?" The Shikanaki villagers hung him. The last fox wedding was held in 1996. We reach for a nearby phone and use Nensha. We are transported back in time to the day of the wedding. We overhear that the fox bride has gone missing. We are not welcome here, as the foxes are hostile towards humans. We hide in a cottage to avoid patrolling foxes. We find the fox bride inside, hiding from the others. She loves human culture and wishes to escape to the mortal realm to be free from the chains of her obligations. Initially, she wants us to help her escape. However, after learning how dangerous it is for us, she apologizes and tells us to disregard her request. We insist that if she doesn't see the outside world with her own eyes, she will regret it her entire life, and so we help her regardless. We escape through time and arrive at the train station. The fox bride tells us a bit of important history about Shikanaki village. The village has hundreds of years of history and used to prosper under the mining industry, but then fell into decay because of a war. After the war, it miraculously flourished from agriculture, growing fruits. Once again, the village fell into a great decline because of an economic bubble burst. The fox bride thanks us and provides us with the special rainwater we seek, and we part ways. We water the withered tree, and it blooms a single bud. We provide it to the remains of Aiko-sama. Spring and life blossoms around us. We arrive at the outskirts of Kuromori town. We learn that the terrorist gas attacks in the subway, train carts, and Kuromori movie theater have been carried out by the Shinri cult. The cult's terrorist activities seem to stem from the economic decline of the region. After the economic crisis, the government was unable to come up with an effective revitalization plan. The unemployment rate and crime rate remained high. The cult seems to have formed out of spite because of the state of decline that has persisted for too long. A black cat tells us that acidic, weeping rain prevents us from getting to the theater. We arrive at a yokai forest cat cafe where we meet the owner, Sakurako, and the waitress, Makoto. In exchange for helping the owner find her 2 missing cats, Rin-chan and Mochi-chan, she will tell us how to avoid the weeping rain. "Thank you for finding my missing kittens. You must be tired. Come inside for some coffee and cake." "So, how come you want to go to the lane of weeping rain?" "I got trapped here, and I heard there's a way out in the theater." "I see. The coffee's ready. Please enjoy." "No, please, let me serve her." "Kihara, the coffee is hot. Please drink it slowly." A note under my cup. "What's wrong, Kihara-san? Is the coffee not to your liking?" Nah, it's not that." "Then don't delay. Try it quickly. This coffee tastes really good. Kihara-san, drink the coffee and all your problems will be solved." I just remembered I gotta go." "Where are you going?" "Ma'am, chill." "No." What is this gas? Is this an attack from the cult? I must have used Nensha. Get out! Hurry! Man, let's find a way to get back. In a panic, we activated the power of Nensha, and it took us back to 1995 during one of the cult's gas attacks. Because we used Nensha in a hurry, it caused a disruption in our power, and parts of the past melded together with the yokai world. We have accidentally transported Makoto, Rin, and Mochi with us. We discovered that the coffee Sakurako tried to serve us makes the drinker lose their memories. Sakurako then sends that person somewhere else, for their own sakes. Sakurako is trying to protect people from going to the theater. In order to activate Nensha safely, we need to do it inside the cart we arrived in. We ventilate the train cart with the gas inside. we learn more of the motives behind the cult. They believe they live in an age of decay. Men are bowing for the stench of money. Women are wearing outlandish clothes and putting on airs. Enterprises are using their employees' flesh as screws, gears, and throwing their enthusiasm into the boiler to power vehicles that belch black smoke, to crush all of their ideals and beliefs. Only by getting rid of desire and seeking inner peace can they reach utopia, and they wish to cleanse others of the wickedness of this backwards era. We see a flashback of 2 cult members preparing for the attack. The cult was using vulnerable citizens that were struck by misfortune from the economic crisis to make them carry out their radical attacks. We see one such victim, Psycho. She is nervous and slightly afraid, but the senior cult member manipulates her further, promising eternal warmth after finishing this task. Psycho begins to have doubts about what she's about to do. She's about to harm innocent people for the cult. Takashi explodes in anger at his peers and believes these common people to be unjust and unfair, claiming that they are greedy, opportunistic, cold, and wicked. He places his own misfortune's cause on these innocent people, fabricating stories and opinions on them that are baseless, believing that they are the reasons bad things happen to him. Takashi leaves Psycho to fulfill her duty. Psycho stands up and begins to walk to the middle of the cart. She is trembling with each step. An innocent man calls out to Psycho, asking if she's okay. What's got her shivering? Is it too cold? Psycho says one word. Sorry, and releases the poisonous gas canister on her surroundings, instantly killing those around her. The incriminating fallacies that Takashi had on these people turn out to be the complete opposite. They truly were innocent people living their humble lives. Takashi returns to the cart after realizing we ventilated the gas. He's covered in blood. He must have just murdered someone. He lunges at us. We narrowly escape thanks to Psycho clinging onto his leg, stopping him, asking why he tricked and lied to her. She feels instant regret for what she's done, but it's too late now. We try to escape. The train has stopped and we try to run out. We pass by real-life Makoto, who is standing vigilantly at the exit, helping survivors escape from the gas. She tells us to leave quickly, and we learn that in her past, she was aspiring to become a train captain, like her father, following her love for wanting to see the world by train, and starting her career as a train attendant. Takashi storms behind us and sees Makoto. He sets on his next victim. Makoto realizes this man is crazed and a threat to others. She heroically uses her body and bars Takashi's exit. She locks the doors and will not unhand the exit to Takashi to minimize the harm this man can cause. In the face of danger, Makoto nobly sacrifices herself to protect others and dies a horrific death. Through Nensha, her spirit sees it all and she remembers her past. Sakurako had her drink the coffee to save her from these painful memories. She thanks us for taking her with us. She remembers her lifelong dream of wandering the world by train and wishes to continue with her travels, listen to stories she's never heard, and enjoy beautiful scenery along the way. She steps onto the spirit train and disappears in the rain. The feather's power returns and we use Nensha to return to our time. We again meet Sakurako. As a result of the gas attack on the theater, there are many restless and vengeful yokai there, and she just wanted to prevent any more tragedies from taking place. She tells us that the root of the curse placed upon us is the god Hoshin, the god of abundance. Knowing this name will be key in breaking our curse. Hoshin is the god that was most recently worshipped by the people in Shikanaki village. He is stronger than Aiko-sama, who was worshipped by them over 100 years ago. She tells us recklessly calling upon Hoshin will lead to dire consequences. She gives us a pearl imbued with magical powers to allow us to enter the Weeping Rain safely. We say our goodbyes and we continue to the theater. We arrive at our final destination, the Kudamori Town Theater. We step into a projector room. Our feather reacts to the projector and shines brighter than it ever has before. Could this projector be the key to breaking this curse? We turn the projector on. We see a flashback of our parents and learn that our father was mostly all work and in charge of a company's investment department. The company was interested in building a food processing factory in Shikanaki Village, and he was in charge of the project. Our memories are incomplete, and we believe the projector lacked something. We were not inside the crib, but instead there was a black film reel. Perhaps finding this film reel could be the key to breaking our curse and regaining our memories. We set out to find it. We learned that the black film reel is in the attic of the theater. However, a violent spirit attacks anyone who goes near. The yokai decide to hold a ritual to pray to Hoshin to drive away the spirit. We remember Hoshin and our curse are related, so we decide to participate in the ritual and investigate why we're cursed. We help the yokai prepare for the ritual by agreeing to gather essential ingredients used in the prayers. And in an office, we discover old letters of people hyping up buying shares into a company in order to make a fortune. We remember our father used to work for this same company. We use Nensha to go get the ingredients. We travel to 1987. We overhear the movie theater owner, Aisei, talking of a company product that would replace the water of abundance. This is Hoshin's special water that he bestows onto his followers that makes things grow in rapid and large amounts. With this substitute, Hoshin will lose many followers and eventually lose power. We witness our parents attending the Hoshin ritual. Our mother doesn't believe in Hoshin, but mentions that a particular girl said Hoshin answers many prayers if you're sincere enough. She prayed to Hoshin in hopes to make our father's work go smoothly so that the factory can be built and he can have some time at home with his family. We see a group photo in the office that contains our father, among other men. Matsuyama Masao, the Shikanaki train station master and member of Shinri Tengoku. Watanabe Katsuo, the Shikanaki village leader, and Terijima Aisei, the theater owner. How does our father know these men? We return to our time. We are so close to attending the ritual and summoning Hoshin to discover the secrets of the curse, but Yuki tries to plant seeds of doubt in our plan. What if this is actually a bad idea? We begin to suspect something's up. Why doesn't Yuki seem keen on summoning Hoshin? You said before that you knew some secrets about Shikanaki village, but you couldn't divulge it because of a curse. Is it because of Hoshin?
Is that so? Kihara, it's just your imagination.
When we returned, we learned that the vengeful spirit in the attic has been disturbed and is rampaging above. Megumi, the yokai theater leader, mentions that we need someone to play as Jingu, the shrine maiden that held the powers of Hoshin, and put us up for the task. As we enter the prop room and are about to don the shrine maiden garb, Yuki leaps out of our pocket. She says there's no point in carrying out the ritual to summon Hoshin, so we shouldn't waste our time. She tells us the deity Hoshin is dead already. It's pointless to summon him because he no longer exists. She admits she used to be a villager in Shikanaki village and worshipped Hoshin. Because she broke a rule for those who worshipped him, she was punished by Hoshin and lost her voice. She then tells us that the curse placed on us has nothing to do with us. We're just simply a victim of it. Megumi overhears that Hoshin is dead and proposes another plan to get rid of the spirit. She says the spirit was likely to be formed by the accumulated anguish from the theater gas attack victims in 1995. She proposes to use Nensha to stop the attack. Yuki reminds us that Nensha cannot change death, even if we travel to the past. Megumi asks if we can really trust what Yuki says, because it seems like she's hiding a lot from us. Kihara-chan. Megumi, I trust Yuki. Even though she's always making a fuss, isn't really reliable, and she delays her manuscript for her books.
Like, what kind of full-time author?
But whenever she's at my side, I feel assured. It's this feeling of assurance that I've accepted. It's okay for her to hide some things from me. So I trust her, because I listen to my heart.
Kihara-chan, have you always felt this way?
Yeah, of course. You have to tell me the truth when the curse is lifted, though.
No problem.
We still decide to use Nensha, and Megumi joins us to see if we can find a way to exorcise the spirit above. We see memories of the past. Megumi used to be a very popular actress for the theater. She was loved by everyone, until a crazed fan slashed her lip and cheek open, and she lost recognition because of this deformity. We see memories of our past as well. We see our father having no time for us, as he's busy with the factory project. And no kids will play with us because we see weird things. We're able to see yokai. We search the building and find a very unique decryption card for a puzzle designed by Terajima Aisei, the owner of the theater. It's revealed that he loves mystery novels. What a coincidence. We love mystery novels too. After solving the puzzle, we find a key to the attic and a book belonging to Shinri Tengoku members. Aisei is part of the Shinri Tengoku cult. We also uncover a letter.
The apostate Matsuyama Masao
the Shikanaki trainmaster, is so afraid of the police investigation that he intends to submit the list of Shinri Tengoku members as mitigating evidence. Get rid of him. Masao was hung by the members of the Shinri Tengoku. We make it to the roof. Megumi tries to proceed, but a barrier prevents her from moving ahead. Nensha cannot change death. Different gods have to adhere to their own duties in this world, and these barriers are put up to prevent us from changing those facts. The power of Hoshin, the power of Nensha, controls time and space, but it isn't responsible for life and death. Megumi watches the scene ahead, powerless to change a thing. Aisei manipulated Megumi during her most vulnerable time, where she lost popularity and screen time. She untwists the canister atop the roof and gasses innocents below. Megumi tried to change her fate, but fails. We try a different method of ridding the spirit. Megumi attracts the spirit on the first floor of the theater. She sprints upstairs and lures it to the attic. The spirit leaps onto us over the stairs, and we use Nensha to transport it to the rooftop just a few minutes earlier. The weeping rain is corrosive enough to eliminate even yokai. The spirits of the innocents latch onto the vengeful spirit, and it melts from the rain. We learn that the spirit was forged from Megumi's soul, forged from her regret from killing those innocents. She blamed herself and committed suicide. She was so consumed by grief that it binded her soul and swallowed her consciousness, and thus she was forged into a vengeful spirit. We obtained a black film reel, the key to unbinding ourselves from this curse and also retrieving our memories from the past. The truth of everything will unfold from watching this reel. We're given the option of 2 doors, one being using the projector film reel, the other being a yokai elephant who's able to use the reel and let us view the truth and our memories through a dream. Whichever door we decide to take, the reel will only be able to be used on one option before breaking. We ask the yokai elephant to play the reel for us. He connects the film's contents to our consciousness. We drift off and Nensha activates. Unlimited opportunity. Buy, and invest. Stocks are hot. Buy early and enjoy the benefits. Let tall buildings rise like the bamboo in the spring. Yo, although we got a product that can grow stuff like the water of abundance, Shikanaki has the brand name and good word of mouth. This is urgent. We need a factory in Shikanaki. And you're up for the job, Mr. Kihara. Do your best. Everyone in the village believes in Hoshin. It'll be hard to get this factory built. I'm getting some support from my friend Matsuyama Masao though. He'll help me convince the villagers to build it. Hey, any progress on the factory? We sealed the deal. Yo, let's go! Hoshin really does listen to our prayers. We can finally take Kashin to Hokkaido, and you can spend more time with us. Yeah, I can't wait. I gotta finish some work. I'm excited. I'll talk to you later. In the end, this positive outcome became irrevocable tragedy. In the late 1990s, an economic bubble burst. Ayako, we have to go. Take our daughter and get out of here. What happened? The stock market crashed, and the company is canceling almost everything. The people in the village will hear about this soon, and they'll be furious. You have to leave now. Okay, but what about you? There are a ton of company documents that I need to get rid of for my study. I can't let them fall into the wrong hands. I'll meet up with you after I get rid of them. Alright, be safe. The company hopes you can get rid of those documents. Do it, and you get bonus money.
Don't let this crook get away. Get his ass.
You bastard. We gave everything we had to invest in this factory, and now it's all gone. Offer him and his family as sacrifices to Hoshin. Damn it! His family got away. What are y'all doing? This man conned all of us. Several villagers are committing suicide because they're bankrupt. Masao, don't forget you're the one who started this. You were vocal about building this from the beginning. I signed for that project too, so I'm responsible as well. Jingu-sama told us that the village needs to be united. Now, more than ever, we have weathered hard times. We can weather this out too. I'm holding a meeting. Leave at once. Leave this place. Jingu wants you to leave. Besides, there was a car accident. Your wife and kid. It doesn't look good. Happiness should be treasured, but I threw it all on the ground and allowed it to shatter.
It's all your fault. All my savings are gone. Liar, liar, liar.
Yuki, what are you doing here? I promised that I would show you the truth. 100 years ago, a girl was born into a mining family at the Shikanaki village. That girl is Hoshin's reincarnation. She possessed borrowed powers from Hoshin, but those powers didn't bring her status, love, or honor. On the contrary, these powers made her suffer from loneliness and misery for 100 years. Mr. Cole, you look tired today.
Little girl, I'm going away to a far place. We're going to war, and they're taking my coals. Live your life well, little girl.
There she is! She's the yokai everyone's talking about. I'm not a yokai. She's 30 years old. I hear she sucks the life out of others to look younger. Filthy yokai, get out of the village.
Oi! You brats!
She practices dark magic. Ah! Run! Thank you, Mr. Cole.
Don't take it to heart. Kids these days are impolite.
Mr. Cole, I'll pray for your return.
Ha! I'll definitely come back and hear more of your stories. I love them. One day, you could be a famous writer.
After the war erupted, the men of the village were sent to the front lines. The village faced famine and death. With Hoshin's powers, that girl saved the village. Faith in Hoshin gradually became stronger, and that little girl was called Jingu among the villagers. Jingu! Thank you! Everyone who believes in Hoshin survived. Where's Mr. Cole? Where's his wagon? Oh, that wagon got bombed. It's gone forever. But thanks to Hoshin, all of us survived instead. Jingu was pushed to the pedestal and revered by the masses. But the more she was worshipped, the more lonely she became. Deities can't step into the affairs of humans too much, but Jingu broke this rule. She used Hoshin's powers to make crops grow in abundance. But there's a price to pay in order to get a god's favor. There must be a living human sacrifice each year. Even though Jingu helped the village, she was still feared by the villagers because of this practice. Times were changing. A new era was rising. The era of the stock market and industrial production. The watermelons look so good this year. People are gonna love it. Let me check whether they're ripe before everyone comes. Ain't it weird that Jingu's 80 years old but still looks that young? Haven't you heard? She sucks the life out of humans, yo. You better watch out. Don't go anywhere near her. Neighbor wants to give up farming. Same, bro. The stock market is hella profitable. You think Jingu can predict what stocks are gonna boom? No! She's only good for growing watermelons. This year's Hoshin sacrifice ritual is around the corner. Nobody's volunteering. We're comfy now. Who the hell would want to sacrifice themselves? Oh! Sorry, Ajo-san. I didn't mean to. This mask makes it hard to see. Oh, it's okay. What are you doing? I'm sorry, Jingu-sama. We didn't mean to offend you. That's okay. It's good that kids are active. Don't worry about it. Come on, daughter. We have to go. Are you crazy? She could have killed you. Even though Jingu gave and gave, the people kept their distance from Jingu. The more she gave, the more lonely she became. Just when Jingu thought she would be alone forever, someone enters her world. The view here is really nice. Hi there. I'm new here. Do you know where Shikanaki Village is? Yeah, right down there. How come you're headed there? My husband's got work there, and I'm giving him a lunchbox. Well, hey, check out this onigiri. It's a specialty from my hometown, and I made way too many. Can I share some with you? Nom, 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 nom. Nom. Oh my, are you alright? Take your time. Take your time. I still have more. This kindness from a complete stranger is a first for Jingu. She takes a bite of the onigiri. It's so delicious. Bite after bite, her expression slowly changes. She begins to sob. Our mother was a complete stranger. Yet in Jingu's long life, she's the first person to ever show Jingu human kindness and compassion. Jingu's world began to change with our mother. She looked forward to seeing her friend each day. Our mom says Jingu reminds her of us. The one thing she wants is for us to grow up happily. She learns that our father was the investment consultant for the company that wanted to build a food processing factory. She suggests to pray at the Hoshin ritual. Hoshin answers a lot of prayers. Perhaps he will make this plan go smoothly. Our mother thanks Jingu, and she says she'll give it a shot. They introduce themselves. Jingu gives a fake name, Kiritani Yuki. She forgot her real name a long time ago. Hoshin wouldn't actually help our mother, so Jingu decides that she will help in her own way. She convinces Watanabe, the village leader, to give the okay to developing the factory. She knows that the villagers will oppose the factory, but once it's built, the villagers can find stable jobs and increased income. Because the company has a growing product similar to Hoshin's power, if the factory is built, there's no need for Jingu anymore. What's more, she's begun to feel the effects of old age. Jingu is not immortal after all, and she won't be able to use her borrowed powers to help the village for much longer. Watanabe is persuaded, and the plans to build the factory will proceed, and money is invested from everyone in the village. Jingu is kind and gentle, but she never realized that this kindness could lead to this tragedy. The economic bubble bursts, the stock market crashes, the entire village goes bankrupt. Because of this, our family tried to run away to prevent harm. Because our father was pushing the plans to build a factory, we will be put to blame. Jingu stumbles upon her mother, stuck inside the wreckage. She can't move.
Can you help me take Kashin out? Take her to a safe place.
Jingu struggles. Although she appears young, she has the body of a 70-year-old. She uses all of her strength just to save us. Gasping for air, she tries to go back for her mother, but it's too late. The car was already engulfed in flames. Jingu is in shock. She's desperate. She tries to use her power of Nensha to stop her mother from leaving the house, but Nensha cannot change death. She watches as we prepare to leave. She laments in despair, powerless to change a thing. In the face of tragedy, Nensha cannot change anything. She watches her only friend burn. She remembers us. Are we alright? We sustained heavy injuries. It doesn't look good. We won't make it. Hoshin tells her we can't be saved. Jingu begs us to stay alive. She remembers our mother's wishes for us to grow up happily. Our life is just beginning. Jingu won't let us leave this world yet. Jingu transfers part of Hoshin's power to us in order to save us. This comes at a hefty cost, and the consequences for doing this is dire. Jingu pleads, I've caused countless tragedies. For once, just this one time, let me make amends for just one tragedy. Jingu saves our life. She blames herself for everything that happened. Watanabe, the village leader, defies Jingu for the first time and shifts the blame onto himself in order to protect Jingu. He tells Jingu to live her life as a storyteller, write scripts and produce books. You've done enough for the village. We will weather this tragedy, and by the time you're ready, we'll all support you. So please, make use of the time you have left. Live the life you want to. It sounded so simple, but for Jingu, it wasn't gonna happen. For she possessed Hoshin's power, and her punishment for using them recklessly was the loss of her voice. With the economic bubble, young people left Shiganaki village, and the elderly that stayed slowly died off. Hoshin lost his worshippers, like Aiko-sama. He loses his power.
We gave our lives, but you ruined it all in one night. Nobody will forgive you.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Thank you. I heard you are the one that saved Kashin. She is out of danger because of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Is that so? I'm glad. The one thing she thought she did right. In 1994, Jingu passed away. She meets our mother in the afterlife. She apologizes for causing all of this. If I didn't agree to this factory, none of this would have happened. Our mother doesn't blame Jingu at all. Regardless if she tried to help or not, the times are changing. More and more companies would rush to the opportunity. This is the fact. Changing times is a daunting catalyst. It can make skyscrapers from dirt and also turn them to ruins. Nobody can resist this kind of force, so it's not your fault. You don't have to apologize. Our mother thanks Jingu instead. Thank you for saving my daughter. She notices a look in Jingu's eyes. You still have unfulfilled wishes, don't you? When they first met, her eyes were dull, but now they're sparkling with strong desire. She says it's too early for you to come here, Yuki. Go and find your own way back, and follow your own road. Yuki says if that road truly does exist, I'll try my best to look for it. Our mother will be waiting for Yuki's return. By that time, please tell me more stories about Kashin. The power within us has the potential to resurrect Hoshin, but if that were to happen, we would become Hoshin's puppet. Yuki intended to trap and deceive us, to release all of our power by turning on the projector with the black film. She would then take back the full powers of Hoshin, leaving us with no memory of this ever happening. So she came back as a yokai, found us, and brought us here with her remaining power. But after all she's experienced with us, all the faith and trust we've put in her, she realizes that we are different. Jingu helped villagers out of her desire to feel wanted and needed. She was afraid the villagers would leave her, so she kept giving without limits. She wanted to gain recognition through her blind generosity. This kind of blind desire helped feed Hoshin, but we trusted her, and we helped yokai along the way, because we make our decisions by listening to our hearts. Because we listen to our hearts, we are not destined to be one of Hoshin's puppets. so there's no need to unleash that power. There's hardly any power left. Because Hoshin will not return, it will gradually fade with time. You trusted Jingu, but she lied to us from the very beginning. Jingu tries to apologize. We also tell her she doesn't need to apologize. You gave me this power, and you saved me from death. I actually feel kind of relieved that this power is going away. We had an interesting adventure together, and we became friends. She agrees. This adventure was really fun. I'm gonna write it in my book. When Hoshin's power disappears, we'll no longer see yokai. We'll be a completely normal girl. We'll also never see Yuki again. This is the most important memory of my life. Jingu asks why. She's committed so many sins and cheated us. Why is this an important memory to us? Because Jingu, who was once revered by the masses, is dead. The person I know, and a friend that I love. A person who loves to storytell, who has trouble selling her books, who can hardly make deadlines, is Kiritani Yuki. I'll always remember you, Yuki. Yuki says thank you. I'm so lucky to have met you and your parents. Once we step out of the door, we'll return home. Yuki will stay behind with the village. A dam will be built and the village will be submerged in water. Afterwards, she'll travel the world and write books. We say our goodbyes. We fast forward to the near future. We buy some books. One has an author. Kiritani Yuki. Yeah, Yuki's an important friend of mine. We have another book, a mystery novel, written by Kobayashi. Kobayashi's book comes with a unique decryption card. Look familiar? Ace avoided justice, and he's living under a new name.